Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to a Liverpool news episode for you guys today. Of course, it isn't this evening. Usually, we are live at 9 p.m. Of course, we will be live again tonight at 9 p.m. But of course, there has been major developments, of course, with the news concerning two players in particular. Of course, as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, of course. Both Jordan Henderson and Fabinho have been in the spotlight as of today, of course, with the news, obviously, with both of them attracting very strong interest from Saudi Arabia. Of course, we're going to be talking majorly about Fabinho and Jordan Henderson in today's episode again. Obviously, we should be streaming at 9 o'clock, but we're streaming a bit earlier today anyway. But yes, we are going to discuss both Fabinho and Jordan Henderson. And of course, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Let me know your instant reaction. Of course, I've not only now just seen the news, I've seen the news throughout the day, of course, but just getting the video together and just taking it all in of how crazy it's been over the last 24 hours. I know all of us have been pretty hyped up, of course, with Dominic Szoboszlai and that transfer about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Again, the shoes on the other foot now, of course, with the Liverpool players. So again, obviously, we will be taking a look at all that has happened so far anyway, of course. And again, we will be live tonight at 9 o'clock as well, usual time, streaming. Of course, we're going to be discussing potentially who could replace Fabinho and Jordan Henderson. And of course, if there is any other news that does come out or will come out, of course, we'll be live for that as well anyway. But get into the comments anyway for you guys. Daryl says if Fabinho and Henderson go, we are finished. Says Daryl. Panna was in as well, saying crazy. No, sorry, Evening Corner. Chris saying crazy world of sport. Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's been a crazy 24 hours for Liverpool. And yeah, it's absolutely maddening, isn't it? Means we have to gel with a whole new midfield. How can you let both go? As well, of course, we will discuss that as well. We love sport, but sport also gives you a bad head. A bad head looking all over social media as well. Yep, absolutely, Chris. And Vaz is in as well saying Manu Kone is supposed to cost about £35 million. Well, again, we'll talk about that again tonight on who could replace potentially both Jordan Henderson and Fabinho if they do go in that sense, of course. But again, I think Manu Kone as well. I think he's out for 6 weeks. I think it is with that knee injury. So again, not that long out, but again, a bit dodgy with a knee injury, isn't it? It's great money for Henderson. Don't care for family, etc. At his age as well. I will still wish him the best, but he's kind of a walking talks of human rights years ago as well. I think that's the big one, isn't it, Chris? I think obviously there's been a few statements out from a couple of people regarding it, of course, but you guys would have seen it all over social media as well anyway. But we're going to kickstart the show anyway, guys, and we're going to kickstart it with Fabinho first of all, and then we'll get on to Jordan Henderson in due course anyway. But David Ornstein, of course, of The Athletic, did tweet this out earlier on, saying Al-lttihad, is set to make a concrete bid for the sign Fabinho from Liverpool for £40 million, expected to develop fast one way or the other. Key issue for LFC is letting a number 6 go without a replacement, but working on this. Romeo Lavia among multiple options, of course. This was then added upon by David Lynch, saying key hours ahead for Fabinho and his intentions and plans for his football. Jurgen Klopp won't stand in his way as long as Liverpool get a reasonable fee. And then I think, Paul Joyce then obviously posted out as well, saying the fact that Al-lttihad are set to make an offer for Fabinho indicates the player is willing to make the move as well. And I thought that was, again, the big one. What again, certainly from Paul Joyce, is the fact that again, it does look like the Fabinho would be willing to go at this stage. Of course, obviously no official bids yet for either Jordan Henderson or Fabinho, of course, but more so on Fabinho. I think, look, obviously Liverpool paid 40 million for Fabinho back, what was it, 5-6 years ago now. Liverpool paid that for Fabinho, and again, when you do look at it, and you do look at the player and you know the type of situation that Liverpool could be in, you know, again, number 6 last season played the most amount of minutes I think from anyone in the Liverpool squad. Didn't have, of course, the best of years last year. Nobody did in that Liverpool midfield, but again, it's been that daunting question, I think, from everyone, and I think from myself as well, is could Fabinho get back to his level? You know, are Liverpool really prepared to, you know, wait and maybe like somebody like a Lavia potentially bring him up slowly, and then, you know, hope that Fabinho can, you know, get back to that high level? He did look a little bit more comfortable towards, of course, the back end of the season, when, of course, you know, Liverpool changed the formation, and looked pretty, you know, reasonable. But I think, of course, if it is a £40 million fee for Fabinho that does come in, I think that will, you know, swiftly change Liverpool's heads right around. I do think that, you know, again, I think if it was anything like, you know, 10, 20, 30 million pounds, I think Liverpool would reject it. But, you know, again, 40 million pounds, 29-year-old Fabinho, which again, you don't know where he is at the moment. You don't know whether or not if he's going to be the, you know, the Fabinho of old. You don't know whether or not if it's going to be, you know, a rebirth, sorry, of Fabinho, or last season was the start of a rapid decline of what we have seen from Fabinho. Because I think all of us, look, I still think Fabinho is a brilliant DM. I think, look, 1 year playing bad, I don't think destroys everything on what's, you know, happened. And look, for me, it is that sense of give him 1 more year, give him, you know, see what happens in that regard. But I do also have the feeling of if Liverpool can, of course, take the money, you know, of course, Lavia has been spoken about in terms of Liverpool being, you know, willing to pay around, I think it was like 35, 40 million pounds for Lavia. If you can add 40 million to that, you know, again, it opens up the question again, you know, who could you bring in to Liverpool in that regard? But again, on Fabinho, if it is the case that he, you know, wants the opportunity to go and you know, go into Saudi Arabia, get, you know, probably one hell of a contract again, then I do think that it is very much, you know, the sense of Liverpool would very much be willing to let him go if that is what he wants, and that's what you know, Fabinho wants. Then again, Jurgen Klopp won't get in his way. But I do think, though, it would be a mistake from Liverpool's end to let him go. Certainly, when you look at the transfer window, of course, DMs this summer are hard to come by unless you are going to pay big bucks. Obviously, again, I'm going to speak about it more in depth tonight in terms of who could Liverpool bring in, because I think it is a very short list that what Liverpool, especially the profile that Liverpool want. Because if you let Fabinho go, you need a starter that comes in. You don't need someone who's going to take a year or two to progress and to slowly get themselves integrated with the team. You need someone who's going to come in from day one and perform excellently from day one, and that's what you need from a midfielder. Of course, we're going to talk, of course, majorly about that a bit later on as well. But I want to know your guys' thoughts on just Fabinho for now, guys. Of course, we're going to talk about Jordan Henderson in a brief moment, of course. But let me know your guys' thoughts on Fabinho. I think personally, it would be dumb for Liverpool to let him go if they didn't have someone in mind. Obviously, I know Lavia has been spoken about, but I do think, again, for 40 million pounds, it's one of those, again, you know, where are Liverpool on this? Do Liverpool think that 40 million is enough to let go of a Fabinho, or do they think that, again, they could possibly even get a bit more? I think Liverpool would be lucky to get 40 million, if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys. But again, I think realistically, Liverpool, if it was my personal opinion, what Liverpool would do, if it is 40 million pounds, I think Liverpool snap their hands off of it. But we will just have to wait and see, won't we, chat, anyway. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts as well. Of course, if you're new around here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, guys, and hit the share button as well, guys. Get as many reds in you as possible as well with the news, of course, with Fabinho and Jordan Henderson. as well. But let me get into the chat again, guys. But let me know your guys' thoughts on Fabinho as well, in particular. But where are we by? There we go. Means we have to, I already read that one out. Apologies. It's great money for Henderson to care about his family. I read that one out as well. Sorry, Chris. Talia Orbin, good luck to Hendo. I would smack him if he turned this down corner as well. Obviously, it's obviously we'll speak about Jordan Henderson in a brief moment as well. But yeah, Gary, it's a lot of money, isn't it, for Hendo? What else we got? I'm not going to lie, but to lose three experienced players, Fabinho, Henderson, Milner, in one season is a bit mad, although they are all on the decline. So it's a catch-22 situation as well. Yeah, I think that's the big thing, isn't it, Panov as well, Coutinho as well, mate. I don't know if I already said that, but yeah, it's a little bit of a sticky situation. I think obviously I think if Milner hadn't have gone and Liverpool had their way, I think obviously, I think everyone would be like, oh, okay, sound, at least there's experience there. I think that's the big issue, and I think it is probably a question of people stepping up now in the midfield. Of course, I know that you've got like some Harvey Elliott, Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones as well. I think it would be time for them to properly step up and to take the mantle in that area. Of course, Jordan Henderson wasn't the leader. Fabinho wasn't the leader. Day one in Liverpool. Of course, they earned that through, of course, playing and this, that, and the other, and being, working themselves into leaders. But that's the thing now, where people have to step up. It's not only the midfield though; it's obviously the squad as well. It's people within the squad. Can Robbo step up? Can Trent step up? Can somebody else step up for leadership? Wise, leadership traits as well. So again, it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? For it as well. But Halo's in as well saying good evening to you. Getting back 40 million for Fabinho after paying the same amount for him 5 years back is a fair enough offer as well, says Flowers. Yeah, absolutely. I would only want Lavia, Fabinho stay. Someone Lavia can learn from. If not, then I don't want Lavia because of the sell-on clause for City. A hard one on Lavia, but other options out there as well. Yeah, no, I think if Fabinho goes, I think that again that offers forum spot. Excuse me, sorry guys. It offers up that of course that the international spot in the squad. Realistically, again, Florentino Luis would be my one. Again, I think he's 23 years old. 23 years old. Top interceptions last season. Again, you're looking for a destroyer. He could very much be that destroyer again in the midfield. But it's all about what Liverpool are after. Again, for me, Liverpool need to. If Fabinho was to go, then Liverpool need to sign a starter. It's not about again signing somebody that's for the future. It's about signing someone for right here, right now. Well, for here, right now, and of course for the future. Moises Caicedo. Obviously, we'll talk about that a bit later on. Anyway, but this is meant to be a rebuild. It's a total disaster, says Daryl. I wouldn't say it's a total disaster. It is a rebuild in that sense. But yeah, I think to lose both Hendo and Fabinho, it would be mind blowing. I think it would be mind blowing. But back mid August as well. I don't know what that's on. Liverpool must take a punt on Barella and Thuram and Caicedo. Connor go all out for these three as well. Liverpool won't do that, Gary. Maybe one of them, but I don't think any of them. My window rating now 2 out of 10. Says Daryl. Bloody hell! I wouldn't say it's that bad. Again, there's no indication to say Fabinho is going to go though, because again, I'll quickly get it back up now. So of course, David Ornstein saying, of course, Al-lttihad. I keep on saying the name wrong. Al-lttihad, sorry, said to make a concrete bid to sign Fabinho. Again, the bid is not yet done, is not yet confirmed. But they have suggested that they would be willing to bid 40 million for Fabinho. So again, there's a difference in that, of course. So again, there's nothing concrete as of yet. Same with Jordan Henderson that we'll speak about in a little bit. But it is that sense again where it's not, it's not in that bracket then, I should say anyway. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Where we buy. Been so angry all day, but I'm starting to calm down. I'm 100% okay with Fabinho thing, but Henderson I've had a hard time getting around. First Gerrard and now Henderson. Yeah, again, obviously Jordan Henderson has, again, social media critics, which again I think is a load of crap. Personally, look, everyone goes, "Oh, look, he had a crap season last season." So did everyone. It's probably only Luis Diaz, Darwin, maybe at a push, and Mo and Ali that had good seasons for Liverpool. Again, I genuinely think that people forget how good, and the quality Jordan Henderson brings for the Liverpool team. I think, look, people get carried away when it's like, oh, get rid of Hendo and this, that, and the other. Look, for me, Jordan Henderson for me, again, for me growing up, obviously Steven Gerrard was my captain growing up as a kid, but as me as an adult, it's been Jordan Henderson. It's been Jordan Henderson that's lifted the Premier League trophy, lifted the Champions League trophy, the Club World Cup, the FA Cup, the League Cup. It's been Hendo that's been there, all the way. And again, that 18-19 season, the 19-20 season, Jordan Henderson, he drove Liverpool to a Premier League. Of course, I'm not saying he was the one that made Liverpool do this, that, and the other, but he was a part of the element for it. And again, it's probably maybe time to say goodbye now. Of course, he is on the decline. We don't know what Hendo's state of mind is in that regard either, in terms of course, the starter thing that we were talking about, I think, yesterday on the channel. But I just think it's a little bit of a mistake, certainly on the leadership side of things, in terms of, again, the experience leaving the midfields is huge. Certainly when you've got Europa League games coming up, you've got of course Premier League games. You don't know how good Liverpool are going to be this season. If Liverpool get themselves back to where we know they can be, again that offers up another, it offers you up another another thing. Then realistically, again, I lost my train of thought then. But it offers up Liverpool again challenging for the title. And again, in the crucial games, you don't know, what it's going to be like. And at the minute, Liverpool, if it was to lose Henderson, if he was to lose Fabinho, would be lacking in the midfield again. But both Fabinho and Henderson go, and Thuram interest will be reunited, in my opinion, along with Lavia deal. Potentially, Chris, could be 100%. Hijack wonder if Henderson saying his goodbye, says Ant. Well, hello, Ant. I'm Connor. But I don't know if Jack's in the chat anyway. But maybe he might be saying, well, again, Liverpool fly out to Germany on Saturday. So will it get done before that? Again, who knows? But we'll just have to wait and see. But ideally, I want Caicedo and Tchouaméni or Barella of them, but kind of unrealistic as well. But I think again, you look at, so out of them three, I think Caicedo is the most realistic one. Still probably a bit unrealistic, considering, of course, Chelsea fans say that the deal's more or less done. But if Liverpool just quickly, run in there and get him, then Chelsea fans are not going to be too happy, are they? I hope so. Chris Thuram could cover the 6-2. I think as well he could cover it. I think I've always said that I think Thuram's he's more of an 8 than a 6. Obviously, Klopp could change him and put him a bit further down. But yeah, no, I just think that personally, I think Thuram's an 8, he's not a 6. But again, I could be wrong. I'm but a bit of a fan in this, so I guess I'm more interested to hear what the actual fans from Liverpool, their Scousers, think about this. Okay, fair enough. We are getting slammed as usual. Really baffling though, the Fabinho and Henderson news. Thiago could still leave, but apparently he's staying. Barcelona want him. That's the latest news anyway. I think, was it Xavi said something today about him, or there was a news article out on concerning Fabinho and sorry, concerning Thiago and Barcelona. So again, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Agreed. Connor as well, says Gary. Alejandro's in as well, saying if we bring in another first teamer, then I'm okay with it all. If we don't get first teamer, I am worried. I think everyone's got that same reaction. Absolutely, 100%. Amazed the Saudi haven't just went of this one. True, that is true. I think though as well, it will be interesting because hasn't El Nasser now got a transfer ban? Obviously, the team that Ronaldo's with. Again, I think they've got a transfer ban. They're currently in debt, so they're not allowed to buy anyone, which I don't know if that's true. I've just seen it on Twitter, so again, that'll be interesting. The reason why I'm a Liverpool fan isn't just football club for me; it's the people of the city as well. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I've been Fabinho's biggest critic the last season, but I still keep him for this season. Yeah, I'd be the same, Chris. I think for me, Liverpool should 100% keep Fabinho. But again, that £40 million transfer fee is very, very it's very, very attractive in terms of, Liverpool could potentially add that. If Liverpool's budget for a DM is £35 million, I think Neil Jones said that Liverpool want to pay around 35 million for Lavia. If you add 40 million on that, what does that open Liverpool's door to do more things in the transfer window in terms of a higher budget? But again, we would have to just wait and see as well anyway. But take the 40. Also taking into consideration that Henderson is from Sunderland as well. Had he been a Scouser thing, would have been considered more ugly. A little bit. I think it's a bit different though, isn't it? Because Hendo is an adopted Scouser now, of course, being again Liverpool captain, done so much for the city. He's done so many good things around the football club, not just in the football club, but everything around Liverpool Football Club and Liverpool itself. I think look, it does massively come down to money. I think that's the big one. Of course, when people speak about LGBTQ and all the stuff that Jordan Henderson has done, off the football field, obviously for campaigning in that regard. Again, he might be a voice within the country. Maybe that's what his plan might be, to try and change, change the things within potentially. But then again, I'm not, I'm not the person to speak about that in particular. But again, you don't know what Hendo might be going there for. Again, obviously, the money thing of it, I think, is the easy way to go at. Is like, oh, he's going just for the money. But for me, I just think personally, I still think that it's that feeling of Jordan Henderson being a starter. I think that's the one for me where I'm looking at it and I'm like, that might be it. To be fair, anyway. But Wolverton as well saying hi all as well. Injuries, midfield, what happens? Trent injured, who plays as well? Big question. A very good question. But they mate as well. But if Trent gets injured, Bajcetic at right back, or the inverted midfielder role, maybe. I could be wrong with that. Robbo as our new captain sounds about right to me for his vocal. Yeah, I think that's the big one. Again, guys, let me know who you think should be Liverpool captain next. I think for me, it'll be Virgil van Dijk. I think that's a boring answer, but I think it will be Virgil van Dijk. Wigson as well saying, if we're selling Hendo and Fab, we need to just go and buy Caicedo. I won't be happy with having less experience Lavia as well. Yeah, I'd agree with that 100%. Collins, Darwin, number 9. Yeah, no, Darwin did get number 9. Which finally, by the way, because I think Liverpool only planned it this morning for the announcement. So again, good news in that sense. Of course, I do feel sorry for people who got, you know, gone back, and bought the Darwin 27 shirt as well. But again, I think everyone knew he was going to go number 9. To be fair, but again, it's good the club will replace everyone's shirt as well. So again, if you have bought a Darwin number 9, Darwin 27 shirt, the club will replace it. So that's good news in that regard. Anyway, but Liverpool bought Fabinho for 42 mil. So if they get 40 mil for this, it's a good deal. There is a catch, however, it leaves a giant hole in that midfield. Lavia is nowhere near the level. I would agree. I think he's, again, I would agree. I don't think he's not good enough for Liverpool in terms of being a starter just yet. I think, again, that the whole idea was to bring in Lavia, and then in the next year or two, Fabinho would go, and then Liverpool would come in. But yeah, I think, look, Liverpool are very much. Again, Klopp's given the green light, but lots of things for Fabinho, but nothing yet is concrete with that anyway. But we have 3 defenders: Matip, Van Dijk, and Kanate as well. Joe Gomez in there as well. Good throw in. People saying 40 million for Fabinho is a good price, but he should be 50 or 60. He's still 29 and can turn last season's form around. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Wigs, again, for me, I think, look, Liverpool are. I still think that's a good price. I'm not gonna lie. Like, for me, I think, look, realistically, Liverpool are very much in the race to be, of course, building the profit margins up in terms of the squad. Because again, if we do sell Fabinho and Henderson, that's what, 60 mil in the kitty. That's without selling Nat Phillips. That's without selling. Is there anyone else that's potentially up for sale this summer? Tyler Morton could still potentially go. Maybe, but I'm not entirely sure on that. So again, it swings and roundabouts, I think. To be fair, anyway, but willing to see if I sell Hendo and Fab, crossing my fingers that it won't kill us. Again, that's the main one, isn't it? I think that's the one where I do think it is very much going to be, people. I think everyone have a different opinion. I think for me, if you were to let the both of them go, it would be catastrophic in terms of leadership. But again, 60 mil. Money. I'm kidding, of course, but lucky it would be a mad one, to be fair. But window rating 5 out of 10 for Alejandro right now. Barella never come into Anfield. I would agree. Jack would be very sad for me saying that, but I do agree. I don't think Caicedo is going to be going. Barella, sorry, will be joining Liverpool, but you get 50 mil, need 100 mil for 2 places as well. Yeah, absolutely agree with Airwolf as well. Obviously, Lig is in saying, "Show me the money," as well. Has anyone seen that? Is it the car advert where he just walks in and goes, "I want that one, that one, that one," and somebody posted it as like Liverpool. What is it? The Saudi clubs coming in for Liverpool's midfielders. And it's just like, I want that one, that one. It's like, it was funny, to be fair. But Talio, Luke, or Ricky as well. It is Luke. If it isn't any hashtag FSG out, it's Luke. Hendo will always be loved for the captaincy and the trophies. Yeah, absolutely. I think the player though itself, like again, Hendo has give everything towards Liverpool. Again, we're speaking about more recently. I think, is it yesterday or the day before, speaking with Jack, in terms of the 13-14 season, for me, I think he was the player that was the crucial moment for Liverpool. If he didn't get sent off, I think Liverpool win the Premier League back in 13-14. And yeah, no, it was gutting. But Henderson completely changed the way he played because of Brendan Rodgers saying that again. We're going to look to Salah and this, that, and the other. And of course, replace you, with Clint Dempsey of all people. or do a swap deal for Clint Dempsey anyway. But yeah, that's just ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. Need a Danny Agger, another Kara, and a Souness as well. That'd be nice. To be fair, mate, it would be absolutely nice, wouldn't it? But definitely need experienced players in the midfield. I would agree, absolutely, 100%. If Fab goes, it has to be Saicedo. Yeah, I think again we're going to speak about it a bit later on in the 9 o'clock episode, but it is that it's the fact that Saicedo would be perfect. Again, longevity is there in terms of age. I think Saicedo is what 21, 20, somewhere around there. Got a full season in the Premier League last year, obviously linking up with Alexis McAllister as well, which would be phenomenal in that way. But yeah, no, I do think that 100% it'll be an interesting one. Again, I think Chelsea are going to be like, oh, can we get the deal wrapped up quick before anyone else comes in? Again, if Liverpool were to go in for Saicedo, I think that would be phenomenal business. But again, would be a very expensive purchase in particular as well. But De Jong be great, 80 to 90 million as well. But yeah, it would probably cost a bit more than that as well, to be fair, Wolf. But I'd rather have Thuram plus Kone or Lavius as Flowers as well. I know we wanted a rebuild, but bloody hell, yeah, it's a massive rebuild. But Thiago swap for De Jong, Connor, again, put that towards Barcelona, and they might bite at it potentially. Anyway, but now if they want Fab, tell them it's 50 or even 60 mil as well as Panov. We might do, who knows, in particular. Anyway, but I'm going to quickly go through as well, guys. Obviously, get your comments in the comment section down below. But of course, we're going to speak about all the news with the skipper, of course, Jordan Henderson, and Fabrizio Romano as well. I can quickly get up on the screen. Fabrizio Romano about 2 hours ago saying breaking: Jordan Henderson is accepted. Has accepted Latifi, sorry. There's a verbal agreement in principle, contract agreed. Deal now depends on Liverpool and obviously Al-lttihad, is it, guys? Again, apologies if I do butcher their name. Discussing on the fee. No chance to let him leave for a free. Hendo spoke to Klopp today, and there has been given a green light as well. Of course, Paul Joyce saying that Liverpool want £20 million for Jordan Henderson. Melissa Reddy as well, tweeting out and saying Liverpool would expect around double the £10 million fee being reported for Jordan Henderson, given the 2 years left on his current contract, his status as club captain and England international. Al-lttihad, the 30 million valuation of Riyad Mahrez would be a reflection point as well, reference point, sorry. But what would be also interesting, of course, Dave O'Cock, who's been on top of the Jordan Henderson story of the last 24 hours, of course, has said Al-lttihad will walk away from the Jordan Henderson deal if Liverpool asks for the reported £20 million. Now, again, I don't get why they think they can get him on a free transfer personally. Like, do they think Liverpool are just going to go, oh, yep, Sam, we're just going to rip up his contract and you can go on a free? That's never going to happen whatsoever. But look, in terms of course, the most important news in this, of course, Jordan Henderson has agreed personal terms with, of course, Ettifaq. Again, I apologies if I've said like 3 different pronunciations already, but again, he has agreed personal terms with the Saudi club. Of course, Klopp has given him the green light, of course, which now you would think things would ramp up quickly. With, of course, Klopp giving the green light for Jordan Henderson to move on from Liverpool Football Club. And look, like I said earlier on in the show, for me personally, look, Henderson's done everything at Liverpool. He's, again, he's my captain from what I've known as an adult. Of course, like I said, Steven Gerrard was, my captain growing up as a kid. I think growing up as an adult, Jordan Henderson's been the captain for Liverpool. And that's for me the big one where, because Henderson's given everything towards Liverpool Football Club, and he has. There's no point saying he hasn't, because he has. And I do think that, look, if Hendo's like, okay, I want to go get the last big, massive contract I'm ever going to get. I think the reported contract as well has been around, I think, 3-year deal for Jordan Henderson. Then, fair play to him. Look, do I think Liverpool would be dumb to let him go? Yes, I do. But I think more importantly, I think Liverpool, as long as Klopp is, of course, as you can tell by Fabrizio Romano's tweet, Klopp has given the green light in that regard. If Klopp thinks that, look, Henderson doesn't, Hendo doesn't want to be with us next season, if he wants to go and his mind and his mindset is fully ongoing, then I think that's fair enough. And again, if the Saudi club think that they can't, we're gonna just go, yeah, we're gonna go, there's 5 million even, go and take him. We're not going to do that. Obviously, the club captain, for God's sake. Again, there might be a bit of leg room there. Liverpool might let him go for 15 million. But I think 20 million is pretty reasonable. I think if you look at the prices, of course, that players have gone for this summer to Saudi, then for me, I think again it's a sign that Liverpool should ask for that amount anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts anyway on Hendo being given the green light to leave Liverpool. Anyway, of course, and him agreeing to, obviously, with the Saudi club, of course, agree in personal terms as well anyway. But let's read into the chat anyway, guys. But again, keep your comments coming in. Let me know your guys' thoughts. So we'll try and read out each and every single one of your comments. Flower says, if we could get 30 million for Hendo and Nat Phillips, I'd accept that as well. I think everyone would, to be fair. PSG, we need sell before buying. Well, two more going Hendo. Homegrown, need new homegrown, replace him as well. I don't know whether or not if he can. Is Curtis Jones or Harvey Elliott already in homegrown? I'm not sure. Maybe we might promote one of them. I'm not particularly sure on that as well. But it looks to me working at being at the moment. But as they come along, better wages, I know what I'm choosing as well, says Chris. Rest we have Robertson should be the captain for me. Francis says, I heard Liverpool gone back for Caicedo from Brighton. It would be interesting. I'd love it if Liverpool went for Caicedo, I'm not going to lie. Well, it's tea time. I'm famished and about to demolish my evening meal with haste as well, says Flowers. Bloody hell, man. Also tell Stevie G he can have Hendo in January so we can use his experience for the new lads for 6 months as well. That might happen. Again, if the Saudi club are, if they're committed in terms of they don't want to buy him for 20 million, then sound, we'll just keep him. Like that's the thing. But what I will say is also interesting as well was it Neil Jones yesterday come out and said, and give his tier list in terms of Fabinho would be the red light in terms of he's not going anywhere. Jordan Henderson the amber, and Thiago the green. And it's now where Henderson and Fabinho is most likely going to go, and Thiago's going to stay. Like that, I think that was a bit funny earlier on, but yeah, thought it was pretty funny as well. But never let anyone tell you, Reds, that you are not a fan if you are not from Liverpool. That's a nonsense. Everyone is a massive fan around the world. Wouldn't be a big as a club without all the global fans. Absolutely, 100% agree with this. Jack as well. And yeah, no, absolutely. Again, Liverpool wouldn't be nowhere near the biggest club in the world if it wasn't for all the fans around the world as well. But yeah, absolutely echo those words as well, 100%, 1000%. Anyway, but back to 4-3-3, Connor. Don't think so, Gary. Could be wrong though. Sel Gomez, maybe. Could very well do. Henderson's been very prolific, and most fans would see that. Just watching TV, he is the captain of captains in the Premier League and has been the glue at this club for so long as well. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I think Aspilicueta, back, what was it, a year or two ago, said again, like, you'd won Jordan Henderson, in your club 1000%. in terms of just being a captain. And again, that's the thing where I think any club in Europe would love a Jordan Henderson in terms of leadership, in terms of example, as a pure example of how to do things right. And I think Hendo, again, I think he does. I think most Premier League clubs would want him as that leader in that regard anyway. But again, look, if he does go to Saudi, then again he's going to get an absolute massive wage. I think it's 33 million a year. I think as well, like 700k a week. That's mental. If we get Lavia and Saicedo, can we win the league? Why not? I think that's what I'd say. Anyway, but Adrian in goal, Allison in DM as well. Allison can play everywhere. That's what I get from him anyway. But Allison in goalkeeper, Jesus Christ. Could you imagine? Was it Thiago? Who was it? Thiago Morta, was it, that had like that weird 2-7-2 formation or something like that? Again, I'm not particularly sure, but again, it was involving the goalkeeper in midfield, which was funny. But if Hendo's on 700k, when Mo joins next year, it will be 1 million a week as well. Well, yeah, you do think about it. If they do get Jordan Henderson, then for me, I think they can more or less get anyone that they want, and that's the the main thing in saying that. But again, like everyone's going there at the present moment in time. Anyway, but of course, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? At the present moment in time, anyway. But the fan base will soon start going crazy if we replace Fab with Lavia. He has been a higher quality replacement. Lavia was supposed to be an understudy to help Fab out as well. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I don't know. We'll probably speak. We will definitely speak about it more, in tonight's show. But I think realistically, Liverpool might even look above. I think Lavia might not get looked at if we do go for a top tier target. But again, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Again, I don't know what that's about. Liverpool. Sorry, will be hilarious if we get Caicedo for cheaper than 100 mil than Chelsea need to offer as well. Yeah, that'd be funny to be fair. Saudi has destroyed US soccer. They go for money. USA will play Saudi double as well. Yeah, absolutely. Phillipson as well saying if both Fabinho and Henderson decide to go to the Saudi league, it will be because they know they're finished in the top class football as well. Maybe, yeah. Again, I think I think more on Jordan Henderson's side of it. I can see why he'd want to go. Fabinho is a bit of a different one. Like again, he's 29. Like he still has theoretically he still has 2-3 years at the top level, but it's that sense again of is Fabinho in that mindset of course I'm just going to go for the money side of things. Again, we don't know. In my opinion, I don't think he's like that personally, but again, we will just have to wait and see. Anyway, but what else do we have? If we get Lavia and Saicedo coming in the league, like I said, yeah, why not? First, there was one senior midfield signing over the 10-year period in the window. Keita, the Ox, Milner have left, and then Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago are being sold. Chaotic as well. Well, we called for a summer rebuild, so there you go. Again, you can't really argue with that, to be fair. But what WTF going on? We are turning into Chelsea selling our talent, buying few as well. True, we are doing that. Again, it will just be an interesting couple of weeks and days, won't it? Anyway, but Bobby's in as well. Continue, mate. I think, hi, mate. It will be a disaster to sell Hendo and Fab, as the new players need time to gel. Fans need to lower the expectations if they do sell them as well. Yeah, again, I think realistically, Liverpool. I think as David Lynch, or not David Lynch, sorry, I think as David Ornstein mentioned, again, Lavia is one option. I do think Florentino Luis is another option for Liverpool from Benfica if Fabinho was to get sold. Again, Saicedo would be again, another guy that would be up there in that way. But of course, you're talking 80, 90, 100 million pounds for him at least. So again, we'll just have to wait and see the chat as well, won't we? But Hendo's been a great servant of the club for 12 years, so we have to finish. We have to wish him well if he goes to play for Stevie G's Saudi team. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Again, look, I think we all speak about, of course, Jordan Henderson being, the light in Liverpool's team in terms of, again, leadership in that way. But again, I think Liverpool announced that we were having a Jordan Henderson, parade if he wanted to at Anfield. I think within an hour it would all get sold out in that regard. But it is the sense, though. Again, out of the two, I think Henderson's going more so going than Fabinho. But if that 40 million is true, then I think both of them will be going. Which again, it's a bit of a mad one, isn't it? I think realistically, but we'll just have to wait and see, won't we, for the news that does come out. But question: who do you think we should buy? Say you have 150 mil. I would go personally Caicedo, and if we're just talking midfield, I'd go after Thuram again. But again, we need left-sided centre half as well in that regard. So again, we'll just have to wait and see. But hello, Trap as well. Good seeing you, mate. And why not get Chalobah or Amrabat? Who knows? Could be another options there, mate. Amrabat in particular could be there. Chalobah, again, is he Chelsea Chalobah? Again, I don't think Chelsea will deal with us in that way. To be fair, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, but before we do head off, anyway, guys, of course, we're going to just run through the news anyway, with and of course concerning both Jordan Henderson and Fabinho, of course, with all the news. Of course, if anyone's just tuning in as well, obviously hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, guys, of course. But going through all the news, of course, beginning with Fabinho, of course, now David Ornstein reported earlier on saying Al-lttihad has set to make a concrete move to sign Fabinho from Liverpool for £40 million, expected to develop fast one way or the other. Key issues for Liverpool is letting a number 6 go without a replacement, but working on, of course, a replacement, but working on this Romeo Lavia among multiple options. Of course, David Lynch came out and said key hours ahead for Fabinho and his intentions and plans for his football. Jurgen Klopp won't stand in his way as long as Liverpool get a reasonable fee. And then Paul Joyce also tweeting out saying that the fact that Al-lttihad has set to make an offer, Fabinho indicate intention. No, that's the wrong again. Indicates the player is willing to make the move. Again, I had it right first time, to be fair anyway. And of course, on Jordan Henderson side of things, of course, Fabrizio Romano saying that Jordan Henderson has accepted Latifi, proposal. There's verbal agreement in principle, contract agreed. Deal now depends on Liverpool and the Saudi club discussing on fee. No chance to let him go on a free. Hendo spoke to Klopp and today he has given the green light for Jordan Henderson joining the Saudi club. Of course, Liverpool want £20 million for Jordan Henderson. That's called the Paul Joyce. Melissa Reddy saying that, of course, Liverpool would expect around double the £10 million asking fee for Jordan Henderson, considering the fact, of course, he's Liverpool captain and England captain, or England second captain anyway. And David Cobb, who broke the news yesterday as well, saying exclusive that Al-lttihad, again, apologies if I butchered the name, will walk away from the Jordan Henderson deal if Liverpool ask for the reported £20 million. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below as well. Of course, and your thoughts concerning Jordan Henderson and the whole story, both for Henderson and Fabinho as well. But hit the likes. Great show, bro, as well. Thank you very much, mate. Very much appreciate it. Bobby says it will be hard. I hope Klopp's ready for this, but it's good, young players. Let's get started. Big up, mate, as well. Good seeing you, mate. Hopefully doing well. Bobby Trap says, can't believe this news has come out about Fab and Hendo. Klopp's not messing means business as well, potentially. Again, who knows what's going to happen, to be fair as well. But Nikolai, sorry, again saying 5 departures in the midfield if we count the possible departure of Fabinho, and 2 arrives. It's not a rebuild. I still hope that Fab doesn't leave either. Greetings from Croatia. We'll go on. Good seeing you, mate, as well. Thank you very much for popping in as well. And Nigel's in as well, saying no messing, at least 20 million or go away, says Nigel as well. And I think, yeah, that's the big one, I think as well. But of course, we'll be live again tonight at 9 p.m. UK time anyway, of course, discussing, who could be the replacements for both Jordan Henderson and Fabinho. Of course, we'll have a look at, of course, different bits and pieces of the news as well. Of course, we're going to probably have a couple of guests on as well for tonight's show as well. So, of course, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, and hit the notification bell as well to remind yourselves when we go live or post a goddamn video. Anyway, but of course, Albert says for the last comment of the video, just let both of them go, as well as Albert. Anyway, but until later on, guys. Of course, if there is any breaking news that has come out, we will go live straight away anyway for you guys about that, to be fair. And of course, if you guys see anything, then let me know in the comment section down below anyway. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you all later on. Ta-ra.